definitely a lot of weather to go over. For those of you who are watching and giving me some insight right now, how is my audio? Is my audio bueno? Yeah? Talk to me. How are we doing here? Anyhow, yeah, we're really excited about that. So we're now going to go over a couple of items that I find are really important for us right now, including, of course, the weather alerts that we have been seeing, and of course, the weather storm reports that we've seen as well. So as soon as I get an okay from my director that we have audio, wow, so many people are joining. Thank you so much for joining us. As soon as I get the okay that we have our audio working, we are definitely ready to go because we have a lot of weather stories to go over. Can you guys see what's happening up here? Do you see this? I'm going to actually head right to this product right here. This is going to tell us about a dust storm that we've seen and we've experienced. I'm just waiting for one more heads up on audio. How is audio? Let's go ahead. You guys know tonight I'm in studio alone without my director, which is fine. I mean, it's fine. But I need to make sure that my audio is good before we get going. So once again, I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. And here we are. I'm going to head into this icon right here. This is a dust storm. It was reported at 4:38 p.m. MST, so Mountain Standard Time. That would have been local time. And this is for Picacho, Arizona. Now, this was reported by Mesonet. No audio on IG. All right, guys, we are doing our best to get audio up here. Our apologies. If you know what, let's go with it. If you guys are on IG, head on over to YouTube, to Twitch, to Facebook. We have audio working on all of those platforms. For whatever reason, it's not working. No worries. We're going to keep it moving, guys. We got to keep going. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at our dust storm report. Now, what's interesting is we're going to go over how a dust storm forms and why it's so important, especially as we start to get changes in the seasons, okay? So we have a dust storm report at 4:38 p.m., less than 1/4 mile visibility reported by a blowing dust sensor. So that's one report already that we're seeing of blowing dust, and very important there to note that that was a report by Mesonet. So notice how we have about 4 of these icons in this area. I'm going to assume these are all a problem with visibility anytime we're talking about dust storm. Of course, we're also concerned about overall air quality, and I have a map that I want to show you as well. And closer to Phoenix at 2:20 p.m. MST, it looked like we had zero visibility or near zero visibility with blowing dust right along Route 347 South. Okay, so that's another update for you all. Let's look at this one here. That one we showed you earlier, 4:38 p.m. and 12:50 p.m. local time. A trained storm spotter, which would mean a Skywarn storm spotter. I'm a Skywarn storm spotter. Jay is, I believe Jerry and Anna are all Skywarn storm spotters. So this is a report of a dust storm here. Okay. And again, my apologies for those of you on Instagram. Let me let everybody know. Head over to Twitch, okay? Because that's where all the audio, and on YouTube, apparently that's where the audio is the best. Okay, so now we're going to go out here. So we're talking about this dust storm. We're talking about all of the reported storms and all of the reported reports, weather reports we've been seeing and getting from, whether it's a trained spotter, perhaps it's a camera, perhaps it's an officer, rescue management, something of that nature. We're getting reports. I have set this, remember, in real time to right now. So what you're seeing is what's happening right now in real time, the reports that we're getting. This report, I'm curious to see the time, 2:20 p.m. It's being reported right now. As I said, I have this stopped right now. This is in Finney County, Kansas. Fire department rescue. A grass fire started around 1 p.m. in the extreme northeast Grant County region, and the grass fire continues advancing slowly straight northward. Okay, so it's still being listed as current, which means it's still in the process, right? And they're doing their best, of course, to make sure everybody is okay, right? So that's the beauty of it all. We're getting this updates for you in real time. Now, I want to head on over to these special weather statements because this area here, we have a lot of areas, a lot of counties, a lot of cities, a lot of regions in the south that do have fire weather concerns. We're also seeing some concerns right around, it looks like the Carolinas as well. So we're going to get to that. Now you're seeing fire weather watch in effect from Sunday morning through Sunday afternoon for relative humidity of 15% or less and winds, 20-foot winds of 20 miles per hour or more and high to extreme fire danger. Okay. Gusts could top out at 55 miles per hour. Please keep that in mind. Now, what you're going to see in one moment is going to be the air quality right now, and then we're going to compare it tomorrow because I want to make sure you all understand what's happening with air quality as well. I have a really, really great product for you guys coming up right now, and I actually highlighted something over here for you all. If you guys want to learn about dust, I've got your dust updates. Okay. So we're also seeing, it looks like a wind gust concern, non-thunderstorm wind gusts, of course, and that's because we are seeing some activity. This looks like we have a little surface low here that's just being a little bit of a troublemaker, and of course, it would kick up any dust, and we'll talk about that one more time in just one moment, as I mentioned earlier, but I've got to get through these alerts because oftentimes I get stuck in these alerts, and we've got to make sure we cover everybody. High wind watch, we already know that, right? That color, that mustardy color, we know that deep brown is the high wind warning. We know, of course, these are our special weather statement, fire weather concerns. We know this right here, guys, and if you don't, please let me know. I'm always happy to keep you updated. Our fire weather warning or our red flag warning. We also have several alerts up and along really the southeast. You can see here we have a combination of fire weather, right, and a freeze watch. Yes, you can have both. So we are now tracking a couple of different alerts in this region, okay? Now let's go back and show you what's happening in parts of Georgia. We have a special weather statement. High fire danger conditions continue Sunday afternoon and evening for all of north and central Georgia due to low relative humidities. Relative humidity of 25% or less can be expected, okay? And now we're talking about the concern of very dry conditions, all right? Now, I'd like to say happy Saturday evening or Saturday night. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. Thank you all for supporting us. We could not do this without you. Before I kick things off really in depth, I wanted to just tell you guys one more time, I'm so happy. Our company was gifted, I'd like to say, the trademark where weather meets community and our logo. So we're so happy. It was a lot of work. And guys, when you're building a company, it is a ton of work. Ask me how much sleep I got last year. Maybe. It's okay though. It was worth it. But we're so happy about that. Super excited. And if you don't know, last week we hit 1.4 million views on our platforms combined. So just over 1.4 million views on our platforms combined. And yes, the app is on its way. I promise you guys. I've been saying you guys know. But you all know how picky I can be too. So I don't think I'm giving, I think I'm being pretty tough on the developers. To be quite fair, I'm being quite tough on the developers because we need a product, as you all know, that is a great product. All right. So we have a wildfire report here at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And heads up, spring forward on the 9th. I got that for you as well. Emergency manager, a grass fire was reported near the 300 block of Riverside Circle. Size was roughly 40 by 40 feet. This was in Berkeley County, South Carolina, Goose Creek. Okay, so we're getting reports now of fires in this area, which, of course, has a red flag warning in effect, as well as a frost watch, right? So now we know this is going to be something we're going to have to watch over the next couple of days very closely. Here at 3:46 p.m. local time in Charleston County, South Carolina. This was reported by Broadcast Media. They showed a video of a brush fire near a highway, Halfway Creek Road at Conifer Road. The size unknown. It looks like that was put out, but we still have to keep in mind that it's something we want to be aware of. We're getting wind damage reports, non-thunderstorm wind gust reports. We're getting some snow reports as well, as you can see here. I'll do a couple for you guys, and then I'm going to just keep it moving, okay? So here we have in York County, Pennsylvania, non-thunderstorm wind damage. We're getting, of course, a snow report here, 1.5 inches in Oneida County, New York. We also have more non-thunderstorm wind gust reports. Here we have some snow that's being reported in Price County, Wisconsin. So the UP to be expected. There is another storm system moving through UP, and we've got a lot to go over when we show you our future cast. Okay, Intermountain West, you guys are going to get a very interesting set of weather parameters over the next couple of days. Okay, so I'm going to keep you up to date. Southern California, we are going to get some rain showers, and so we're going to talk about that as well. But you see here that there are several weather alerts that have been issued. We have our winter weather advisory. We also have our winter storm warning. And here, this has something to do with hydrology. Anytime you're seeing that green, it has to do with hydrology. Now, in this case, it's a flood advisory. We're going to make sure we keep you updated on that as well. We also have one here in Nebraska. We have a flood watch that has been issued for an ice jam, okay, in effect until 10 p.m. local time. That's important to note. With the snow melt, we're going to have a lot of issues. All right, guys. Another thing I want to let you guys know is active weather is looming right around the 8th, 9th. We may be out chasing. Okay. I'll keep you up to date. Things are changing every day. The team is growing. We're really excited about that, but things are changing every day. We may be out chasing tornadoes right around March 8th, March 9th, March 10th. If we can work out the schedule, that's where I'll be chasing tornadoes, and you'll see why in one moment. So let's get to the next product, and I'm going to come back, I promise. Because we talked about the dust reports that we just saw there, we want to know how these dust storms form. Caused by strong winds, often produced by thunderstorms, and winds pull dust from ground into air. A wall of dust and debris forms. This is dangerous because oftentimes this is when visibility is hindered. As you saw, visibility was near zero. Some reports were about a quarter of a mile. Nonetheless, it's still hazardous. Mechanical issues for planes, for everybody, really for cars, and then can cause breathing and health issues. And with that said, look at our aerosol properties. Now, this one I put, and I actually wanted to use one parameter only for right now. This is your dust parameter. Now, I want you to read along with me, okay? This is a very important statement here because this is a NASA product, so that you know this is set to a NASA product, and I have it set to what it looks like right now when we're thinking about those dust reports, okay? Now, for health purposes, people are often interested in the massive aerosols of a certain size at ground level. This is often referred to by the term particulate matter. We always talk about that around here, right? And we're talking about the concern of the size. For example, PM1 and PM2.5 are dominated by fine particles, while PM10 are coarse, larger particles, okay? So the reason I tell you this is because when we're talking about dust storms and we're talking about the reports that we're getting by whether it's the Mesonet or a storm Skywarn storm spotter or just a camera, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Please grab a screenshot. This is so important. I only have this set to dust. That is the only product I have it set on, okay? And this should tell you how bad that dust would be impacting those in that region, all right? Okay, so once again, we're at a 3-hour sat-rad loop, and this time I actually have it looping 3 hours, okay? So we have our satellite and our radar. We also have our wind profile. Now, remember, I like to do a couple of things. I like to take off the wind. See that? No wind, wind. No wind, and wind. Okay, a little bit of a delay there. Work with me. Okay, so here we're seeing our wind, and we're at 10 meters. I might take it up just a little bit. I'll go up to like 850 millibars. You guys know I like to do that too. I like to show you everything that's happening in the atmosphere, especially when we're talking about things like dust, particulate matter, and things that are happening throughout the atmosphere. Because you guys know, atmosphere what? Functions in the vertical, okay? All right. So now what we did was we kicked up our wind profile to 850 millibars. We're getting some reports here because it's a 3-hour report. I'm going to take off our local storm reports, okay? I'm just going to leave us with our weather alerts that have been issued and that are in effect, okay? And once again, this is actually an interesting one. This might be freezing spray up here. Do you see this blue? That's a beautiful blue, but I don't think I want it. Yeah, freezing spray warning. Okay. So now we're seeing a freezing spray warning issued for portions of the Great Lakes. I mean, that's to be expected, right? Because of the conditions, because of the temperatures, also because of what's happening. We are getting these systems that are now moving through. Okay. So this is going to be a very tumultuous time when it comes to weather, meaning forecasting. You're going to have to really stay with me because I'm going to be forecasting days and possibly even weeks in advance. As I just said, I will likely be out tornado chasing next Sunday, Monday, okay? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But we'll keep you updated. So here is our heavy freeze spray warning remaining in effect until 10 p.m. local time. Heavy freezing rain at a rate of 2 centimeters per hour or greater may rapidly accumulate on vessels, okay? Now, none of us, for the most part, have to be concerned, but still. Heavy freezing rain, portions of Lake Huron, the maximum winds are expected around 4 p.m. today, and we have large waves also expected. And again, this is in effect until 10 p.m. Guys, in just the last couple of minutes, look what we just got. We just got a flood watch. Okay. So Montana, there's a lot of hydrological issues going on here. We saw here, this one was there when we first joined. You guys joined me a couple minutes ago. We had the flood advisory issued by the National Weather Service. Now look what's happening. We have a flood watch that's been issued by the National Weather Service. Flood advisory for snow melt. Snow melt. Do you remember last week we talked about the concern for avalanche as that storm system, that atmospheric river was moving through for the portions of the northwestern part of the nation or the Pacific Northwest specifically? We were concerned about avalanches, remember? Because it was very heavy snow. It was like a, I don't know, it was like a 5-to-1 ratio. It was really, really wet snow. Now you're seeing snow melt is the issue. I promise you that's going to be a big story. So you guys want to keep it here with us at Weather Co-op, where weather meets community, because we are concerned about your community. We don't care where you are. In fact, we did an update for Madagascar, and we did an update for, I believe it was Indonesia. So we'll just keep you updated though. Flood watch. Here we go. We also have, of course, our fire weather concerns, as you are seeing here. I thought this was an interesting one where we have our fire weather concern, right? But we're also concerned about colder conditions, right? So we have our frost watch as well. That's been issued by the National Weather Service. We'll get to that in one moment. Let's see if we zoom on in. Perhaps it'll populate. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of a minute. But again, we are definitely hitting all of these alerts that we're seeing here issued by the National Weather Service. Very important to note, we're seeing several, including all of these that have to do with special weather statements in that beige color. Do you see this? Let me see if I pop. See that little hand? Okay, follow that little hand. That's going to be all over the map. Let's zoom in a little bit closer and see what's going on here. Why are we not populating this one here? Oh, look at that. Area of high pressure. Did you see that? Look at that. Very nice, very nice. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Why are we not populating with all of our details? Let's go ahead and make sure we get that. No. Okay, there we go. Freeze watch, as we mentioned, sub-freezing temperatures as low as 30 degrees possible, portions of southeast Georgia and southeast South Carolina from late Sunday through Monday. Frost and freeze conditions could kill crops, other sensitive vegetation, and possibly damage unprotected outdoor plumbing. So now this is a completely different weather story, completely different from this one. So you're just like, wow, there's so much going on. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life. Okay. As I told you guys earlier when we started, how much sleep did I get in 2024? This much. But hey, we got a lot accomplished. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We had 1.4 million viewers, just over 1.4 million viewers last week, totaling on our platforms. And we were honored by getting our trademarks. Thank you so much, USPTO. And thank you guys so much for helping us and supporting us. We're so excited. And I promise you the app is going to be out. It's going to be badass. Badass. Okay, so we have our fire weather warnings in effect, our red flag warning in effect until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Strong winds, low humidity. You guys understand that. Affected areas include Chesterfield, McCormick, Newberry, Fairfield, Sumter, Barnwell, Calhoun, Richmond, Burke, Northern Lancaster, Southern Lancaster. All of these counties remain in effect under this red flag warning. We also have our red flag warnings and our special weather statements starting to populate across the Southwest. But I want to show you guys something that some of you may have missed earlier. Look at our reports. Look at our storm reports. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm not going to do a 3-hour loop. I don't want to do that because I want to show you guys what's getting reported right now. Okay? There is a difference. So let's clear the board here. Okay, so we have this dust storm we talked about, and I showed you how dust storm formed, and I showed you what the air quality due to that dust looked like. So here we have a dust storm that was reported at 4:38 p.m. There was another dust storm reported at 2:20 p.m. with visibility close to zero. It's like, this is bad. Okay, so now we're really going to start cranking up the weather alert pretty much updates, right? So non-thunderstorm wind gusts makes sense along with that wind with the dust, right? Now we have wind advisories for portions of the Great Basin. The Intermountain West, you guys are in for it. I'm telling you now, there's a lot of weather heading your way. You already see that we're populating here with a flood watch for Montana that wasn't there about 20 minutes ago. Everything is starting to populate, and so we're going to go ahead and we see a lot of thunderstorm, non-thunderstorm wind gust damage here. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead, non-thunderstorm wind gust damage. See that? So this was in Ohio, Pleasant Grove, 40 miles per hour. This was reported by ASOS. Okay, I'm going to always tell you who reported it. Okay, so in this case, we also have one that was in Michigan, Empire, Michigan, 43 mile per hour wind gusts. This one was reported by the Mesonet station at, let's see, doesn't give me the location, but it's a Mesonet station, so no worries. We do know that's official. I wouldn't give you anything that isn't official. Here's another one that's at the Wurtsmith Airfield in Michigan, 45 miles per hour, AWAS station. That would be another official station that we would observe here at Weather Co-op. Not that I wouldn't listen. If we have our verified weather watchers. Not that I wouldn't accept those, but I have to be really mindful. Okay, so now let's keep on moving. Okay. We'll be back on this one particular product because I think it's a great one. Our quick temperatures across the nation. We're seeing lots of 20s across the Ohio Valley. Ohio Valley, you guys are going to get very interesting weather as well over the next couple of days. Southwest, the Southern Plains, that's where it's going to be active by next Sunday. We're going to be tracking tornadoes next Sunday, okay? Not this Sunday, next Sunday, which, by the way, is the Sunday you're going to spring forward 1 hour. Right now, we have St. George at 70, Las Vegas at 72, Salt Lake City 45, Philadelphia in the 30s, along with New York, Boston, New Haven, Roanoke, and we've got 20s for Pittsburgh, Buffalo 16, Detroit at 23, Green Bay 21, 50s for Portland, for Seattle, for Boise, Whitebird, and San Francisco. Reading, you're at 65, Salt Lake City 45. This area up here, guys, do you see my little handy dandy hand? This is my concern when we're talking about snow melt. This is going to be, last week we talked about the avalanche concerns. This is going to be a problem. Okay, let's keep it moving and we'll come back to these. And if you have any questions, pop them in. Let's see if I've got my Instagram. We know that there is a problem with the audio there. It doesn't matter. People can hear us everywhere else. If you have a question, pop it in. Look at the wind profile. I'm going to go with the wind first. You guys know I love showing you the wind. Wind tells a lot of the story. Notice how we're seeing that gradient in the blues over like the UP, over the Northeast, over the Northern Ohio Valley. And then we get that darker gradient, the oranges and the reds and the yellows, that south and west of that area. Salt Lake City, you have a northwesterly wind. St. George, you have a southwesterly wind. So, a tale of two winds in one state. One of my favorite states, by the way. Amarillo, southeast, Oklahoma City, easterlies, northeasterlies for Little Rock. We have Charleston at a southwesterly wind, and Las Vegas currently looking at a southerly wind. Profile as far as the wind speeds, not gust, wind speed. We have Baltimore at 21 miles per hour, Nashville at 14, Atlanta at 15. Guys, guess what? I just got glasses. I just got glasses. So my ophthalmologist was like, "What have you been doing to your eyes?" Apparently, this part, like there's the muscles under here, they're really tired and just really weak, and so she's giving me glasses. Okay, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Okay. So yeah, she told me to wear my glasses because the muscles in my eyes are so tired. And I was like, oh, I stare at a computer forever. She's like, don't do that. Okay. Atlanta, 15-mile-per-hour wind speeds. Nashville at 14. Garden City, 14. Danbury at 13. San Francisco at 10. Calm winds locally in the LA area. Phoenix, 11. But remember, in that Phoenix area, Arizona, you guys were seeing dust storms, okay? So now we're going to have to really dig into what is going on here with the wind profile. Day 1, severe weather outlook. Look at what we're seeing here. Nothing. Day 2, severe weather outlook. Look at the bullseyes. Look at the targets, okay? Central, Southern Plains. Look at this. The Great Basin, Intermountain West. Didn't I just say that you guys are going to start seeing some weather that is going to be pretty active? I just said it. And now day 3. Okay, so now we're going to start looking at more active weather looming for the Southern Plains. And I'm telling you, next week, next Sunday time frame-ish, and I might hop over to a long-range forecast solution, but we're gonna be looking at extreme weather. We're gonna be looking at tornadoes. Okay, so you'll want to be back here with us. So our hour-by-hour forecast, I'm just going to let it run through. Look what's happening here. Do you see how we're getting a bit of a meridional flow? Meaning, when I say meridional, it's peaks and valleys, okay? That's what you're seeing with the weather pattern, as opposed to zonal, which is a little bit more steady. I'm going to roll this back. I'm going to toggle this back there to the top of this, and it's starting at 8 p.m. CST. Remember, center of the nation. So right now, we're seeing that a system is going to move onshore. That's going to bring us some showers for parts of Southern California. I know that's something we're watching, especially with the burn scars and with everything that's happening. But Northeast, UP, you guys are starting to get some, look at that. We're populating, okay? We're populating some weather here. Let's pause this right here and toggle it back. I just told you guys across the Great Basin and the Intermountain West, this is going to be a problem. Look what happens in Montana. Are you guys looking at my little hand here on the screen? This is important. Why? Because the next concern we have is the threat for snowmelt. Snowmelt is going to be a major problem. Okay? Please, please, please keep that in mind. Okay? All right. So, I think I have lipstick on my teeth. Sorry about that. Whatever. Okay. So now we're looking at this system moving through. Our concern is look at the inconsistency there. It's not white. It's not blue or purple. It's a mix. We don't like that. Guys, we do not like that, because that is an indicator that the snow that's coming in, it's a heavier, wetter snow, which tends to lead to more trouble. Okay. It tends to lead to more trouble, like that snow melt. Okay. And that's going to be a really big problem. Wow. And then look what happens here. Monday, 8 p.m. Actually, let's go back a little bit. Ooh, look at that. Are you guys looking? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look what happens here. Look at that. Look at the low. Okay. Look what's happening here. And look how we're getting a bit right, even around the Rockies. Look at that. It's a combination. So it's wet snow. It's not that nice fluffy snow that I really love for all you skiers. No, 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 no. For those of you who have the Icon Pass, this is a no, 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 no. I'm telling you now, I'll probably be looking and tracking avalanche warnings. Okay. Keep going here. And in fact, hey, look right here. Guys, wait, hay is for horses. Okay, sorry. Hey, right here. Did you see the legend? Okay, let's keep going. Look what's happening. Look what's happening right here. We're tapping into the Gulf moisture. There you go. Do you see it? Do you see how because we're tapping into that Gulf moisture, it's allowing us, I'm even looking for a dry line. It's allowing us to have precip, right? But what's happening is in these cases, like across the northern plains, across the central plains, across the Rockies, Intermountain West, the Great Basin, people are, thinking they're just going to go there and have a great time. Please be aware. Please let them know. We have a big concern for snowmelt. Okay. And we may even see more avalanche warnings issued by the National Weather Service. Okay. All right. That's going to be the problem. That's going to be my concern for the next couple of days, because we have to deal with snowmelt. All right. Okay, making sure I don't have any questions. I'm getting questions kind of from all over the place. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm getting reports that audio for the most part is okay. And by the way, guys, just to let you know, we will likely be out storm chasing next week. Okay. We're going to keep you guys updated, but of course, this is really important. Okay. Here we go. Tuesday morning. Do you see how this storm system continues? Right? Look at this. Cutting across the Midwest. Look at that rain snow line. Look at this. This is just it. And so now the concern we're going to have, apart from everything else, is, of course, flooding. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on that, or for that as well. Okay. This is going to take us through Tuesday, 8 p.m. I'm only going to pull out 72 hours. I'm not going to do a longer range solution. It's just not something that I think you should be doing right now, because there's just a lot of weather packed into this right now. And I'm not talking just one system. Like, we have another system that's going to be jacked out of the southern plains. We're also going to have that storm system that comes that will follow this one storm system that's going to move on now for the Pacific Northwest. So guys, just keep in mind, this is where we start to get really active. Okay. A couple of things. I'm also, if you do want to know, I'm going to keep you guys up to date as to what models I'm using, so that you can always follow along with me. Okay. I'm going to go for a few more minutes, and then we're going to just move on. Look what happens here for the parts of the southeast, parts of the Tennessee Valley, parts of the Mississippi Valley, River Valley. Look at this. Okay. We're getting some weather, and that's what we want to keep an eye out for. And then finally, and then I'll sign off, but I will be back. Spring forward, March 9th at 2 a.m. New sunrise, 1 hour later. New sunset, 1 hour later. And if you're like me, when I fell back a few months ago, I was beside myself. I couldn't believe it. I was like, fall back an hour. I'm so happy we're going to be springing forward 1 hour, March 9th. Okay. Tell your friends, family, tell everybody at Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. We are official, guys. We had over 1.4 million views. We're so grateful. This can only be done because of you, and we're so excited to onboard all of you into our app soon enough. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin, Skywarn Storm Spotter. Do not forget, by next week, we'll be back, but by next Sunday, we're going to be tracking tornadoes, and I want you guys to join me to make sure everybody we all know, is nice and safe. All right, guys. Bye.